Another twist in the managerial hunt as Hull City will be facing a former manager in the FA Cup. Hello there and welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel, where today I'll be going through that along with plenty more. So let's first crack into the FA Cup news. So last night, if you did not see, Hull City were part of the FA Cup draw, third round, and of course, we come up against a side that have recently beat us in Doncaster Rovers. In last season's Carabao Cup first round fixture, they managed to thwop us 2-1 at the MKM Stadium. And therefore, we will be playing Grant McCann's Doncaster Rovers yet again. So fantastic, I wouldn't say a fantastic fixture considering the likelihood of us losing with us not currently having a manager and also coming up against Grant McCann in Doncaster Rovers, who I believe since Grant McCann has taken over, they haven't beaten us friendlies in competitions, so that's fun. So we have that to look forward to at the beginning of January at the MKM Stadium. A nice little bit of a derby, to be fair. Not too bad, but we will probably bow out of the FA Cup in our first round, in the third round, for the first time yet again. I think it's got to be about 4 or 5 seasons consecutive where we haven't made it out of the first round of any competition. And of course, us losing in the Carabao Cup and now probably losing in this. Yeah, it's not going to look lovely for Hull City. But before then, hopefully we do have a manager and more twists in the managerial hunt for Hull City. Apparently 6 candidates have met with Adrian and Hull City and taken place with their interview processes. A man was spotted at the MKM Stadium yesterday. Some unofficial reports of a sighting of Steve Cooper at the MKM Stadium yesterday, as there was some photos of a man who looked like Steve Cooper from a bit of a distance with a bit of a blurry camera, getting out of a car at the MKM Stadium, presumably going in to go and meet Adrian for some interviews. So we're unofficial confirmation of a Steve Cooper sighting at the MKM Stadium. But as it is tradition, a new day, and of course there's a new contender to the list. Apparently Hull City and Cardiff City are both looking keenly at the current Reading manager in Ruben Celes. So Celes is currently managing Reading over in League One, and he's not the first manager to be rumoured to be a current manager of a League One side. Of course, not doing as well as the current Wycombe manager, but still has a lot of youth to prove around him. So his job at Reading currently is his second managerial appointment in a senior capacity. So before this, he did manage the under-18s at Valencia all the way back in sort of the lockdown year in 2020. And then went on to do a bit of assistant managering, caretaker managering over at Southampton before he then developed into becoming their senior manager for the span of February from 2023 through to June of 2023. Managed to pick up a 0.44 points per game. It's pretty stinky. But since then, he's gone on to go and manage Reading since July of 2023, up until the current thing, and his contract there is out until June of 2026. He has currently managed them for 77 matches, boasting a 1.51 points per game. What is very similar with him and Jokanovic, who I mentioned in yesterday's video. If you've not seen that, go and check that out to go and see the insight on Jokanovic and see whether he would be a good candidate for Hull City. So he does like to stick with the 4-3-3 attacking formation. Of course, this is probably a little bit of a fresher appointment more than Jokanovic, as he is currently managing a side in the EFL, albeit League One with Reading. So a very interesting one it would be. Maybe I would prefer him a little bit more than Jokanovic, but of course Jokanovic has got that more experience, even though he's not currently done it and he's not done it for a few years in the EFL, but he has had plenty more years worth of experience. There's a lot more teams and a lot more teams that he's got promoted because Ruben Celes hasn't. So certainly an interesting appointment that one would be. And apparently he is one of the 6 candidates who's already been interviewed. This is unofficial confirmation, but reportedly he is one of the 6 managers who have met. Of course, we do know Jukanovic is another one of them, so the 4 other ones remain a mystery. If we're going to say one is Steve Cooper, there's 3 there that are a bit of a mystery. Apparently Mark Robins has met the squad for an interview, but then has also said that he doesn't want to go through the interview process and wants the wants the club to reach out to him and just offer him the job. So that's a fun one. So yeah, a very, very interesting time. Baz Cooper has come out reporting that we possibly could hear about a manager appointment in the next day or 2. Of course, tomorrow will be the week anniversary of the best day of current Hull City life, Tim Walter getting sacked. So a week without a manager, a week removed from the Tim Walter sacking. Of course, we have had 1 game under Andy Dawson, and I presume if we do not have a manager before Thursday, Friday, you will be expecting Andy Dawson to be in the dugout once again, managing the squad for the Blackburn Rovers home game on Saturday. So yeah, it's not really picking up the pace as you anticipated. Kind of from Adjan's perspective, he did sack Walter out of the blue. He did say before the Sheffield Wednesday game, win or lose, Walter has still got his job. Then heard the outcry from the fans, then saw the outcry on social media and went, why am I being so stupid? Let me sack this man. Sacked him the next day, being a week tomorrow, that being now. And so a little bit out of the blue for him, so maybe he didn't have any candidates lined up. But still, there's plenty of good options on the market. I don't think that out of the ones that we've dived into, out of your Robins, your Steve Cooper, your Jukanovic, now Ruben Celes, along with a few of the other people that I mentioned in my video last Thursday, it's not really a bad option on the market. Of course, Adjan could go completely left field, pick a manager who's nobody ever heard from the Ivorian 3rd division, but that's probably not going to happen with the short list of managers we've heard. The people that we know who have had interviews with Hull City, have had talks with Adjan. I highly doubt that he would go from the calibers of these managers to then go to someone completely different who will probably sink the ship and make sure that we are rock bottom coming into January. But of course, that is all a little bit of speculation, and it's hard to predict what is Adjan going to do. We know this by now. He's been in charge of the club for a few years now. We know that it's hard to predict what he's going to do next. But hopefully, what he does do next with the managerial appointment is take the smart, sensible option. There is plenty of them to pick from. Of course, a load of out of jobs. And then some, as we've said today, Ruben Celes currently in a job. So whether we do snatch him away from Reading, of course he's doing an okay job over there, or whether we do go for one of these more experienced managers who have seen the lengths of the Championship years and years and got teams promoted. So it's a very testing time for Adjan, and a very testing time to be a manager on the market, really. Do you want to come into the Hull City project? Do you want to help Hull City steer them away from relegation, probably get them into some sort of a fighting position in the league come January to make it a bit more of an appealing target for some transfers, to tell people, yeah, come to Hull, we've got a bit of a project going on here. Saw what we did last season, forget what Volta did at the start of this season, come and join us. It would be an interesting one. And of course, with the various different managers, there's a few links within Hull City. Casey Palmer's been speaking out positively about Mark Robins. Of course, them two met during Casey Palmer's time at Coventry, and Casey Palmer has nothing but positives to say really about Mark Robins. Of course, with Robins does come the factor, will we get his assistant manager, or what would happen in that situation? That is the only lingering bit of doubt on one of these managers. So it's one of them ones. Time will tell who would be the next Hull City manager. Of course, I will keep you up to date on everything here on the YouTube channel. So do make sure that you like and subscribe to keep up to date on everything Hull City. The managerial hunt continues. We look forward to getting bowed out of the FA Cup, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more news, juicy bits of information before Saturday when we take on Blackburn Rovers at the MKM Stadium with whoever in the dugout. Nobody knows as of yet. Apparently 6 candidates have met Hull City. but not one has been confirmed. So I'll see you in the next video. Up the Tigers!